How do I get clients? And is there really such a thing as perfect clients? Today, I'm going to answer the question, how do I land my first 5 perfect consulting clients? Hit subscribe for weekly videos to grow your consulting business and click the bell for notifications of future episodes. Jerry Seinfeld tells a story of being invited to speak for his buddy's class that he was teaching in Los Angeles for aspiring comics. And Jerry thinks about it and he sees kind of like what the agenda is and what they're studying in the class. And he says, what I wanted to do was go in there with just like a giant banner with just 2 words on it. And those words would be just work. Just work. Because as a comedian, what is there to know? You're going to go and stand in front of an audience and you're going to find out in about 2 seconds what's funny, what's not funny, what's working, what's not working, like what you need to do to get prepared. Now, I don't totally agree with him about that because I know he's a huge student of the profession and he has these amazing habits and he's a prolific writer and he's a very consistent writer. And so I have a feeling that there's a little bit more to know about it than just work, but probably 90% of it is just work and you'll figure it out as you go. That is almost exactly what I would tell somebody who is aspiring to be a consultant. Just do it. Just find somebody around you who has a need, who has something broken that is your expertise, something you can help them with, and then just start helping them with it. Sometimes they'll pay you for it, but you don't even have to get paid in the beginning. It's okay, believe it or not, to just start working. It can be while you're employed somewhere else as a side hustle. It can be 3 hours one time on a weekend. It can be 3 hours every single day in your spare time, in addition to your day job or as the beginning of a freelance career, or it can be 3 hours a week. It doesn't matter, but really just work is going to tell you a lot of what you need to know about consulting. And what I find from successful consultants is that they're willing to just jump in. They'll try things out. And it's how they get started and it's how they continue to be successful is that they're both courageous, but also like they don't mind a little bit of failure. They don't mind making a mistake. They don't really give a crap if they like look dumb from time to time. That just work ethic really applies to consultants as well. In today's episode, I'm going to talk to you about how to get your first 5 perfect clients. So if you're brand new and you've never consulted before, then you're going to learn how to get clients. And if you have already worked before and have clients, but you're like, perfect, I'm not even sure I really believe in this whole perfect client thing, then this episode is for you. Because landing perfect clients is as important as landing clients. And believe me, there is such a thing as a perfect client. Perfect clients give you energy when you work with them. You are more energized and excited after you're done than before you started. Not perfect clients suck your will to live. They drain your energy. They make you question if you should even be in this profession or not. They are tedious and time-consuming and just everything dreadful. So I want to encourage you to pursue the concept of perfect clients. And if you're brand new, I'm going to talk to you about how you'll get those first 5 ones. The thing that I need you to know is that you are already connected to your next 5 clients. Those next 5 clients that you're going to have in your business, whether you're brand new or whether you've been doing this for years, you already know your next 5 clients. They are in your field, your realm, your sphere of influence. They're already there right now. So for a lot of my clients, when I tell them that or remind them of that, they're like, oh yeah, okay, all right. And they start to think about like, okay, who is in my sphere right now? Who is in my orbit? Who do I know about right now? And that sometimes is enough to help them key into what their next steps should be because they know they're in their orbit. So what does your orbit mean? On LinkedIn and also in life, we know there's this thing called first-degree connections. First-degree connections are people that you're directly connected to. Well, that's the same thing as in life. Like these are your actual like family, friends, colleagues, like people you know directly. And then there's second-degree connections, and that's the people who are known by the people you know. Very often, your next 5 clients will come from people you actually know. And then the ones after that will come from second-degree connections, and then there'll be third-degree connections after that. Because with every project or engagement you do, you expand your sphere and you expand that number of connections and you know more and more and more people. We also refine it. So what's important if you're not happy with who your clients have been is that you're going to need to stop interacting with certain people and stop attracting certain people. And it's okay to fire clients. It's okay to stop interacting with certain colleagues. I've had a client that I work with who noticed a whole sphere of clients who were not a good fit, They didn't have any money. They weren't really committed to things. Like they just like everybody connected in this general circle, or either to this person or to this organization, or that she met in this way. They were all like not right. So she has to close that door entirely to stop attracting or cease working with people who are like that. And that's okay to do. So you want to focus your efforts on where are perfect clients. The second thing you need to do to find those perfect clients is you need to get their attention. You have to get on their radar screen so that they notice you. And then we're going to turn that into work. And when you're first starting out, it's amazing. Like we can go into a lot of complicated sales techniques and things like that, but you're going to close those first few clients based on your charm alone, based on like, yeah, I know so-and-so, and she introduced me to you, and we can do this whole thing, and then let's start. That's the way those first ones go. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. It can be. You can make it more complicated, but I just want you to know, your first 5 clients, it can be just like boom, 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 just based on your charm, your personality, your personal credibility. If you have that and you can get the first 5 on your own, then you probably can make a career of this. If you can't or don't have that, then you probably can't. There, I said it. Okay. If you can't just get 5 clients based on that initial like looking around and being like, oh, I'm going to be brave and go talk to so-and-so. And hey, I noticed that you got a challenge with this. Would you like some help with that? If you can land clients that way in the beginning, then you're going to have a career at this. And if not, then you probably won't. I met somebody, a guy years ago, who just did not have a personality that anybody would want to be around. Had managed to get a few clients, but really struggled to get this to move further than that. And I was like, I think maybe self-employment is not the right thing for you. And you might want to look at just like a job working for somebody else, one of those people who you do jive with. It is okay for you to go ahead and take a day job and have somebody else do the client attraction and you do the work and the delivery, because not everybody has this kind of a personality. And if you don't, it's okay to let yourself know that right now and not like try to push a boulder up a hill. If, however, you're like, I can do that, I can go talk to people, then this is for you. So what do we need to do with these perfect clients? You have to identify with a perfect client profile who you're looking for. Why? Because if I know on a sheet of paper what I'm looking for, then when I look around myself, I can attract it. And a minute ago, when I said the first 5 are already in your sphere, if you pictured people, then that's the beginning of you seeing this dynamic in action. So we actually make a list of what a perfect client is for us. If you're brand new, you start this from people that you work really well with. Like, I love to work with so-and-so over in accounting because she's amazing in these ways. And I love to work with so-and-so who runs the nonprofit that I volunteer for because she has these qualities and I really like those qualities. You can begin to put together a profile like that. What kind of problems are you going to want to solve? Put that in your profile. What kind of values do they have? Because you want to have shared values with your perfect clients. You're going to share values. So put that in there. And then like, what other things are fun? Had a client one time write, they have dogs. They love dogs. Big dogs. She specialized. If you're a dog person, there's big dog people and little dog people. And then people like me who are just dog people. Put all of that in that perfect client profile. Now, if you're one of those people who are like, I got a lot of clients, but I don't have any perfect clients. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to use contrast. Everybody you can't stand, you're going to write the opposite of that. You're going to write, they would be perfect if they were this. No, I want them to actually do this. For example, years after I was working with many perfect clients, but I started to get frustrated with a few of them. And I had a long list. I had a page and a half for my perfect clients. And a lot of these things were fulfilled by the people who were showing up for me. But one major thing wasn't, and that was they didn't implement. And so one day I just crossed everything out and I said, done, they implement. When people were like, what's a good referral for you? I was like, people in this demographic, but they implement. And then I had years of attracting people who implemented. And since then, I don't have that problem anymore. Since then, my clients are all perfect and they implement. Really? Your clients are perfect? Like you love them and you'd like want to go on vacation with them? I didn't say vacation. No, nobody said anything about vacationing with them. I said, do I love working with them? Is exactly what they need, exactly what I do? And does the process of working with them bring me joy and make me more excited and more energized after I'm done working with them than before? Yes. So let's be clear about what the perfect client means. And by the way, also, there's plenty of my clients that I would go on vacation with. Not all of them, but plenty. So perfect clients are not just possible, they're a requirement for you. They're more profitable. They refer good people to you because like attracts like, and perfect clients know other people who are just like them who will be a perfect fit for you. They bring out the best in you. They give you testimonials and case studies. They get great results. You have to work with perfect clients. Now, I'm going to tell you one other quick thing about messaging. The way we attract perfect clients to ourselves is you have a message that makes it clear who they are. That message is structured kind of like this, which is I work with this demographic that has this problem and these outcomes. Now, I've done numerous videos about messaging, and I will refer you in the comments and in the show notes and elsewhere around this video to where I've taught how to do your messaging. So use that perfect client profile as your map, as your GPS. You're going to read that every single day, and you're going to be like, this is who I'm looking for. When you talk to somebody who says, oh, you're thinking about going to consulting? Who should I introduce you to? You're like, hey, here's the list. And you're going to take them through that list and talk about who would be a perfect client for you. Third thing, I've been alluding to this, but now we're going to really get to it. You are going to nail client attraction. It is critical for you to succeed as a consultant that you have at least one way to consistently and easily get clients that always works for you. So if you are like, dude, I just got a big unexpected tax bill, I need to go get 2 new clients, there is a way for you to do that. So I'm going to take you through what are the most common ways for you to get clients. First one, as I referred to earlier, your network. These are people you're connected to, your first degree connections, the second degree, people who are connected to people who are connected to you, third degree, whatever it takes. But you have to work your network, which means know who is out there and actively be connecting with people in it. So go to events, go to see them, maintain those relationships. And what's really important about this is like online and offline. Offline, the way we are always networking before there was such a thing, going out, being visible in your community, in your professional community. So that may mean like in your local area, being in the chamber or church, believe it or not, the country club, all of these social places where doing business might be inappropriate, but connecting meaningfully with people you know, like, and trust, those are perfectly acceptable activities to do in those places. So just be known in those areas and always make sure like the people you're connected to know what you do and who you help. If you're thinking of going into consulting, you're like, telling too many people this, but I just wanted to let you know, I'm thinking of stepping out and doing some consulting. Don't want my employer to know about that, but just between you and me, just keep an eye out for me. That kind of thing is the thing that you can let people know in your network. If you're working on refining so you have more perfect clients, then you can let those people in your network know, actually, I'm looking a little more specifically for a specific kind of business owner, and then talk to them about who or what that is. So that's working your network, professional associations and organizations. Many of my clients will go to those conferences, either monthly meetings of, or the quarterly or annual conference of something, and come back with long-term engagements. What I love and what is so magical about networking is it is so fast. You can be cultivating this garden of contacts through your network. But I have also had situations where Friday night I was at an event, Monday morning I had a meeting with a client, and a week later I had a signed contract for 5 or 6 figures. That is what's possible when you're networking. Of course, online networking is now a thing that we want to do, so polish up your LinkedIn profile and make sure that it is specific to exactly who you want to attract to you. Second thing, publishing. Publishing can be slow. Putting out that book, it's not necessarily going to get you a client by next Monday, but having a book or consistently publishing articles on your expertise is great for establishing you as a leader in your field. And you want to be the leader. You want to be the go-to expert. And build that niche, build that reference. Like when I'm doing this, I have my hand near my head. And when I have my hand near my head, what I'm imagining is that there's a file folder in the brains of your potential clients. So that whenever they think about you, you go inside of a little folder in their head. It's like people who can help me at work, or somebody who can help with my team, or someone who helps with leadership, or somebody who helps with, etc. Like there's a folder for those kinds of resources, and you want to make sure that you go in a folder at all and that they're clear on what that folder is. There's definitely going to be a folder in their minds for like, people aren't entirely sure what they do. Make sure you're not in that one. So when you meet people and when you're publishing, specifically, publish work that begins to build an identity for you and your business, because that's the credibility and the expertise that you're going to call upon when you are networking with your network. And people want to go to the go-to expert on something. And very often, if you've published about it, they consider you to be the go-to expert. These last two are connected because I want to talk about speaking. Speaking is so incredible. It can be as effective as networking because you're not just networking in an organization. You're like getting up in front of the room and you're like, hey, I'm your person. So you have that instant credibility of standing up in front of people and speaking on your expertise. You may be a paid keynote speaker, and if that's super important to you, great. And if not, if you have the confidence and courage to speak in front of groups, then do. It can be as rapid a client getting strategy as networking, because I've had the exact same thing happen where I stood up and spoke. After I spoke just for free for a meeting of a local organization, afterwards, 10 people rush up and give me their business cards. I follow up with those people, and those things turn into work engagements. So it's a really amazing strategy in that way. The thing I want you to think about is, for what audience do you want to speak, for what organizations? So here is OPA, other people's audiences. Who are you connected to, and what organizations are they a part of who have your audience? So you want to make sure that you're getting up in front of your audience. You're not just speaking for your good health. Stand in front of an audience, even if there's only 20 people in the room. Some of my favorite engagements that I have landed have been, I spoke in front of an audience. There was only 20 people in the room. Somebody beside me was complaining like, oh my God, there's only 20 people here. What are we even doing here? And I was like, I only need one. Sure enough, one client in there led to a transformational engagement. So get in front of those audiences, stand up, speak on your expertise, fill in the information in that file folder so that they're like, whoa, that was the go-to expert on that topic. And they will track you down to engage you for their projects. So those are some of the fastest and most effective ways for you to get consulting clients. There are a few other ways that you can get clients. You know, you can get PR, you can speak on TV, you can make a podcast. There's other ways to do it, but those are the ones that are consistently, for consultants, the low-hanging fruit for bringing in new clients. So what have we talked about today? We've talked about just work. Get out there and get some clients. Use your charm, your personality, your personal contacts, and get those first 5 clients, remembering that your next 5 clients are already connected to you. Second of all, profile them, create a profile so you know who you're looking for. They knew who you're looking for, and you're refining it so your clients are ever more perfect. And then last of all, cultivate at least one marketing technique that consistently generates leads for you. When you do that, you're going to have a profitable and joyful consulting business. Count on it. So before I go, I want to share with you one really good resource that will help you with this. It is called 36 Ways to Use Your Self-Introduction and Get Clients. It's identifying all of the brand touch points, all of the many ways that your potential clients can see your brand out in the wild. It's not just when you're networking with your message and using your self-introduction, but all of the other ways you can use it. So that resource is at samanthahartley.com/super. And with that, I am wishing you a profitable and joyful consulting business. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the bell for notifications. And here are a couple of related episodes that will help you to build an even more profitable, joyful consulting business.